All right, here's your review to graphing simple rational functions. So this is not factorable, and there are 5 things I want you to be able to find and then graph it. So first let's talk about the two intercepts, the x-intercept and the y-intercept. To find the x-intercept, you look at the numerator. What number makes this numerator 0? And so the x-intercept's -1, because -1 plus 1 is 0. The y-intercept, you plug in 0 for x. So if I plug in 0, 0 plus 1, 0, subtract 1, and divide, then the y-intercept is -1. So understand the numerator equal to 0, plug in 0 for x, and solve them. Now we need to find the asymptote, so the horizontal and the vertical. To find the vertical asymptote, you look at the denominator. What makes the bottom 0? And to make sure you write it correctly, it's not 1, it's x equals 1. The horizontal asymptote, we look at the power term. So that's x and divided by x. So when I divide that, the horizontal asymptote is 1. And then the domain is what x cannot equal, and it comes from the vertical asymptote. You cannot have a 0 on the bottom. So what can x not equal? And we did the first part. Now the second part, can you graph this? Can you put this on a graph? So we're just going to do this without graph paper right now. And what things would I put on this graph? So I would start with the x-intercept, which is at -1. And then the y-intercept, which is also at -1. And then the asymptote, which is at +1. And the horizontal asymptote, which is also at +1. You know, you can press pause and try it first, or you can just watch. And now what I have left, I need to curve correctly. So the 2 points I have, as it goes to the vertical asymptote, it's either going to go to infinity or -infinity. So this is curving down, so it's going to go to -infinity. And then the left end behavior is going to join. It's going to be right alongside the horizontal. So these will always join together. So the horizontal and the end behavior, they're buddies, they're together. There's the end behavior. Now, I need another point for a curve over here. So instead of +1, I'm going to plug in 2 and find that point and curve through it. So if I plug in 2, I have 2 plus 1 and 2 take away 1. And so that point at 2 is 3. So I find 2 and 3. I plot that point, and then I curve it as well. This side is going to go to infinity, and then it's going to curve and join the horizontal, and now you have the curve. All right, one more review, so you can do well on the quiz redo. All right, so let's graph this one. First step here, so write it down. Step 1, the numerator is not factorable, but the denominator. So I need to know how to factor the denominator. So two numbers that multiply to 4 and subtract to 3. So it's +4 and -1. Nothing divides out, there's no hole. That's it right there. We're still going to find 5 things: x-intercept, y-intercept, the vertical and the horizontal asymptote, and the domain. So we're focused on those 5. For the x-intercept, look at the numerator. -3 makes it 0. For the y-intercept, start here, plug in 0 for x, plug in 0 for x, and you get -3/4. The vertical asymptote comes from the denominator. So one is going to be -4, and the other is +1. What makes the bottom 0? So -4 and +1. The horizontal asymptote comes from the power terms. Notice the top and the bottom. The bottom is more powerful than the top. The degree is bigger on the bottom. When that's true, then the horizontal asymptote is always y equals 0. Your domain is what x cannot equal, and it comes right here from the vertical asymptote. So it cannot be 0 at the bottom. So the two numbers x cannot be are -4 and +1. All right, now we're ready to graph. So I'm going to start with the intercept. So I'm going to start with -3 and -3/4, which I know is not quite -1. So right there, estimate it. Our vertical asymptotes, we have one at -4 and +1. And then the horizontal asymptote, which is at 0. That's right over the axes. And now we're ready to graph. We're going to connect these 2 points and cross over. So this side is going to infinity. We're going to cross, connect the points. This side's going to -infinity at the vertical asymptote. We need a point over here to curve through. So I'm going to pick 2. And I'm going to plug it in here. So 2 plus 3, 2 plus 4, and 2 take away 1. So that gives me 5/6. So I'm going to just estimate where 5/6 is. And then I'm going to go to infinity, curve, and then it's going to join the horizontal. They're going to join together. I need a point on the left side. So I'm going to plug in -5 and see what answer I get. So -5 plus 3, -5 plus 4, and -5 take away 1. And then I'm going to reduce it down. So this is -2/6, which is -1/3. So I'm going to find approximately where -1/3 is. Here's -5. It's just below, and then it's going to go to -infinity, and it's going to curve and join the horizontal on the left side. And there you go. All right, good luck on the quiz today. Mr. G Math, over and out. Over and out. Is that how you say it? Till next time.